Folks, welcome to the Phoenix Business Exchange East End Edition and this fine December 6th, 2023. And just as a couple of quick reminders, stay safe out there during the nice snowy downfall. And this weekend, apparently, we're supposed to go warm, so get ready for some water. Other things you want to do, since it is the beginning of beginning of the month, last month, if you've had any stats, share them with Tony. Really important. That way we can get all the numbers up there, because right now we're running at $249,000 worth of business between the members, and I know that's been going up. And we're coming close to Christmas, and I'm sure someone's bought someone a dash cam somewhere. Maybe a house, or stretching a body or two with Nia, or maybe some Maluka products, or Susan McGarry's Pure Trim choices. Might be those perfect gifts. We're going to swing over, and we're going to hear some words of wisdom from Mike from Monday, or his twin brother, as it is. And Tony, over to you, sir.
Well, actually, I had a message today that I wanted to relay, so
Tony, go
I,
for
I,
it.
I will do something. And by the way, if you wanted to buy somebody a well-run company, you talk to Tanya. One of the quotes that I really like is from Seth Godin, and he says that people very, very seldomly believe what you say. They rarely believe what you show them, and then sometimes will believe with their friends, but they'll always believe what they tell themselves. And one of the things that we do is one of the things that many coaches try and do is not so much just relay all kinds of information to the people that they talk to, but to get them to believe what they are saying. And it sounds like it's the same thing, but it's not. It's almost like we're inundating people with information. This is what you need to do. That's what you need to do. And we figured as long as we're talking to them, they are listening. And I think most of us can realize, if you have kids, if you have, if you've been working with people, sometimes just telling them right to their face what to do, what is going on, they don't hear it. They don't understand. It doesn't come through because it's not actually going through them. So if you have any goals about you're telling yourself that you can't do something, or that you're overweight and you're beyond hope, I'll never lose weight, or I'll never become whatever it is that you want to be. When you tell yourself that, and this is where the cliche comes from, where those that say that they can't and those they say that they can are usually right, because you will always believe in what you're telling yourself. So where does this take us when we are in business? When you have a product or a service that you want to relay and give them people information, instead of doing that, look at it backwards, turn the glove inside out, and really look at what people are listening to. What are they hearing you about? And how can you turn that around so that they say, yeah, this is the person I need to buy a house with. This is a person that I need to get some information for, because I really believe they can solve my problem. And that's really what it comes down to. Regardless what you do, regardless how long you've been doing it, it always comes down to this fact. Can this person solve my problem? Whether you're a plumber, a realtor, whether you can provide great meats to somebody, whether you're a good dancer, it doesn't matter. What are people saying? If they are convinced that you are the answer, you will always win. So when you're relaying information, bear that in mind. What is it that they are telling themselves? What story are you telling yourself? Are you saying that I just need to get this information out and people will grab onto it, much like the pasta, throwing it against the fridge? Some of it will stick and some of it won't. If that's your marketing, it's going to be very difficult. So the real question is, what are you telling yourself? What story? Thanks, Bernie.
Thank you so much. So, folks, just posted in the chat the LinkedIn live feed. So please ensure to put some comments in there, details, how to get a hold of you, a good way to market yourself. And we'll do a round robin. So, added special this morning. You're going to say, yeah, this is what I do. This is kind of maybe the specials I got on the go. but also give us your Christmas plans. And we're going to start off with Susan Ebbs.
Okay, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I hope you were able to shovel out from a foot of snow. It was kind of a shocker. It always is the first time. I only managed to get the first half of my car shoveled out. So today is to get the other half. So I'm with Total Renewal and we're affiliated with melaleuca.com. And I help you to make your cleaning that much easier, but also get the toxins out of your home. Too often, the chemicals that we find in our cleaning products are what's causing asthma, ADHD, and the increase in autism spectrum disorder. So one product I want to talk to you about today is called Tub and Tile. So it comes in a bottle like this. You take that product, put a little bit in a lovely little spray bottle down to the bottom, about an inch from in the bottom, and the rest is water. So what you're doing is you're saving yourself money by only having to use a little bit of product at a time. And there's no chemicals, there's no chlorine bleach, no phthalates, all these nasty little things that cause health problems. And you're saving yourself time and money because with the Tub and Tile, all you do is spray a little bit on after every shower and it will do the job for you. You can use it on the tub, you can use it on the bathroom counter, and even on the tile on the floor. So it's a very versatile product. We're saving the climate, the product. Oh, I can't think tonight. The planet, because we're not throwing in so many bottles into the environment. So it's Susan Ebbs, and the product is Tub and Tile. Back to you, Tony.
Oh, I appreciate it. I've never been called Tony before, but we'll work with it. And over to Sam.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturris, connectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Well, you guys know what I do, dash cameras. You might be like one of my neighbors, went out and bought himself a dash camera on his own, and I installed it for him. Hooked it up right to the fuse panel, nice and neat, no wires hanging down. If you're interested in that, I can do that for you. I also do oil changes, brake jobs, minor repairs. These days, well, it is winter now, and well, the other day I was coming home from Squash and I noticed a car accident. Pretty much guaranteed it was caused by slushy conditions on the road and people driving like they were when there wasn't slushy conditions on the road. So my recommendation is to slow down, leave lots of room for yourself, especially when there's that slushy, greasy film on the road of snow. Also recommend that you have three things in your vehicle in the wintertime: a car blanket, a blanket in the back in case something happens and you need to keep warm, a first aid kit, and a foldable shovel. So anything else you want to talk about when it comes to winter driving, give me a call or text me, Sam Sturris, connectedcars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of a new vehicle and a heck of a lot more.
So, Sam, are you playing Santa this Christmas, or are you going to be one of the elves?
Well, I guess I would be an elf rather than Santa, but I don't have the size for the Santa thing. Not enough pillows. But we're going to be heading down to Kitchener as usual, Kitchener-Waterloo. All the relatives are pretty much in that area. We're kind of the ones that are stuck out of town. So we're going to see both sides of the family, my wife's side and my side, for dinners. And I think I'm organizing a bowling thing while I'm going down there. So that's one thing I'm going to do for both families, to organize a bowling event. That's it.
Sam, thank you so much. Susan, did we capture your Christmas plans?
Myself, Susan Epps.
Yeah.
Up in the air at this moment. We'll either be going to my daughter here in Ottawa, or we'll head out to Carleton Place to my other daughter.
Excellent. Excellent. Over to Susan McGarry.
Thanks, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan McGarry. I'm with a company called Pure Trim. I'm a full-time promoter of this product, and we carry a line of Mediterranean health and wellness supplements. And the two I wanted to cover quickly today is our joint control and our joint mist. Joint control is fabulous because it has over 12 plant stem cells. And what this does is it helps to nourish your synovial fluid. That's what gives you lubrication in your joints. It helps with tendons, joints, and muscles. And it also nourishes your current cartilage. Now, if you don't have any cartilage left, it won't rebuild cartilage. That's usually surgery. But if you've had surgery on one hip and you don't want surgery on the other hip, I strongly recommend the joint control. Now, the joint mist is fabulous. It is great for people with bone on bone because it gives you instant relief. It has 4 plant stem cells. So what I found for myself is I was using a lot of this until I use this regularly. Once I use this regularly, I don't need the joint mist as much. And what was really cool this winter is I did a total of 6 hours of shoveling because I have porches, and Wendy will know you got to clean those off to keep them strong, right? And so I shoveled them all. And what I noticed was the next day I'm usually really stiff and pain. And I've got to get on Penny's class because she's going to be so impressed the way I can move now, that I had no pain the next day. So Susan McGarry with Pure Trim, if there's anyone you know and care about that wants to overcome the joint muscle pain, have them reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help educate them. And what am I doing this Christmas? Well, I'm going to have my son, I think he's off for a week from Ottawa. He's going to come up here to Calabogie and we'll go swimming and possibly do some skiing for the first time because something I couldn't do. And with my in-laws, I bring the turkey. So I'll bake the turkey at home, and then I'll put it in a big Tupperware, all covered, of course, with towels. And Dave will appreciate this. It's the way to keep the meat warm by the time you arrive to your event. You've brought this big, huge turkey. And I would strongly recommend, if you haven't gotten your turkey yet, please get it now, because as you get closer to Christmas, they get smaller and smaller. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Choice pickings of the birds. I hear you. Wendy, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Wendy Chung with Century 21 Synergy. Right now, my team and I, we're really focusing on our 2024 business plan. And it's a lot of thinking, and it's a lot of, I guess, projecting of how we see ourselves next year. What we're hearing right now is that next year will be just as challenging as this year has been. And we've seen a number of agents leaving the industry because when it gets tough, the tough get tougher and the weak seem to try to find another way, right? They don't want to work through it. So there are tough times. There's brand new rules in the real estate industry in the province of Ontario, starting from December 1st. So there's a lot of legislation and a lot of new forms and a lot of new clauses and ways that we need to now, I guess, educate the consumers. So right now we have to start a relationship with our clients with a consumer guide that was put out. And so it's going to take a while for all of us to get through all of the new changes and understand them and make sure we don't get into trouble now that the new rules are in place. So really, that's the focus right now, is to catch up with a lot of clients before the end of the year and to support my team by putting together their business plan and making sure that everyone is taken care of. In terms of plans for Christmas and New Year's, well, as you all know, I like a green Christmas. So Craig and I will be leaving on Tuesday. That's December 12th, and we will be in Costa Rica celebrating with all our friends down there until January 17th. So that's where I'll be checking in with you guys from sunny Costa Rica, and I'm looking forward to getting a break from the little bit of snow that we've been having so far. And yeah, basically that's it for me. Thank you.
Wendy, thank you so much. Tony, over to you, sir. Sorry, man. I'm breaking the rhythm, aren't I?
Not at all. Not at all. It's all good. Hi, everybody. Tony Jennis from Hire Yourself. I'm the spirit guy of the group. I was told a few days ago that this one client had what they felt stagnant energy in one particular room of their house. They don't use this room very often. It's like a third bedroom, and it's just more like for guests. but it just felt stale. Now, not only, of course, the windows are not open, and because the air is sort of stale and it doesn't feel right. It's also that the energy is also stagnant. There's nothing moving in there. And I gave her a few tips about just getting energy, not only moving in that particular room, because every room has a significance in your life, believe it or not. There is a map, it's called the Feng Shui Bagua, and it's basically a template for everything in your home, in your floor plan, and it represents something. It could represent money, it could represent love, it could represent connecting to clients, your reputation, career. There is one that is connected to your health, directly to your health. One example that I had was a grandfather clock that was not working. It was so old that the inner workings wasn't working. It was over 100 years old, and it stopped working a long time ago. And they had it in the health section of their home, and the homeowner had heart problems. You know, the ticker having an issue. And so everything is related to things like that. So you want to be able to get and look at those things in your home, make sure everything's working, open up the doors and windows, even in a day like today, where if it is like -5 or even -17, the whole idea is you want to exchange that air or exchange the chi within that room and in the house. Because any HVAC person can tell you that clean air heats the house better than stale air just heating up. So plants, lights. Right now, it's perfect for Christmas because the lights are up, and there's more Christmas movies that people are playing, and it's happy times, and that joy really reverberates through the whole home. That's one way to really, and there's many others that I can mention, but these are some of the few that just come to mind right now. So if you have a place like that, open up your doors and windows and just bring in the celebration sort of thing. Just be open for that. And what I'm doing for Christmas is, as usual, I'm going to my son's house. We're all getting together as a family. Everyone's it's just been a great year as far as learning things. I don't know, for me, it's been a big learning curve. And this year, I'm going to start connecting to old friends, people I haven't seen in a long time, perhaps even going back to high school. Some of the things that I've even been connected even very recently was somebody that I used to be friends with in high school. That was a few decades ago. And I'm looking forward to that because when you're getting to a certain age or a certain time in your life, you want to start rekindling, because that's one of the things that people will regret. I should have connected to my friends when I had the chance, because, you know, they're at a point where they're wondering if they are of any significance. And if somebody out of the blue contacts them, it really makes their day. And so I plan to do that this Christmas, really share a little bit, not only with family, but try and get some friends. So I'm really open for anybody that wants to get together as well in that. So looking forward to Christmas for this year. Thanks, Bernie.
No problem, Tony. Actually, the old Europeans will, because my mom did that. It's middle of winter. It's February. It's minus whatever outside. Open all the doors and windows and flush the house out. They're really comfortable, said no one ever. But it gets rid of the dust, and it's a good fresh air reload. And over to Tanya.
Tanya Hewitt from BMC Safety Compliance. Yesterday, I had a chat with a contact that I had a few years ago, and we recorded it. We recorded ourselves talking about present-day leadership, and I was suggesting that it's no surprise that a lot of leaders are kind of lost, because look at how our society is structured. First off, there's a whole lot of external validation that we're bathed in. Teachers, coaches, parents, whatever. It's all this external validation. And then when we get employed, it's likely from a resume with a whole bunch of accomplishments and skills and things like this. If it's not talking about how people interact with others, these so-called soft skills, which I would like people to start using critical people skills, or how much they've invested in personal development. I don't think any job really looks at that. And yet, a lot of leadership depends on how they interact with others, their interpersonal skills, and how they are ready to grow themselves, because a lot of leadership is responsibility for others. So a lot of leaders don't understand this, and hopefully we can turn a new page and get this understood for a lot of people who take on the responsibility to lead others. So as for Christmas, I am going to be hosting, I think, about 15 people here on the 23rd. Once again, my daughter is going to be working most likely throughout Christmas, and then we'll take off to Southern Ontario between Christmas and New Year's to visit my family. And in between all of that, there are a whole host of celebrations, including the Phoenix Christmas party, that is part of what we'll be spending our time doing. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you, Tanya. Over to Penny Lee.
Good morning, Penny Lee Provo, the Dancing Motivator, co-founder of the Graduate Thrivers Incorporated, and of course, I am also a wedding officiant. So I wanted to bring your attention to that today, because there are going to be quite a few people getting engaged at Christmas time, and perhaps you might know some of those people that are excited around the holidays about their new engagement. Also, they might be heading down south for a destination wedding, in which case I often do the ceremony here to marry them legally before they go and do the actual celebration on the beach. So keep that in mind when you are around family and friends this year. Would love a referral to be able to do a wedding for them. I actually had a wedding yesterday afternoon at 1 o'clock, and I thought it was very interesting that it was on a Tuesday at 1. So I asked them, if there was a special meaning or an anniversary or something with the date of December 5th. And they said, no, our marriage license expires today. So they had to have the ceremony completed by December 5th, because a marriage license is only valid for 90 days. So I just thought that was really cute. But anyways, I also have another wedding this Friday. So as I say, people are often doing smaller, more intimate things. And I hope you keep me in mind. So think of me if you know anybody who is planning on getting married. I'd love to have my calendar filled for the month of January. So looking forward to celebrating some more ceremonies of love. And for Christmas, we're doing things a little different this year. My brother and his family are out west. They have a fifth wheel, and so they've landed in Nanaimo, BC, and are staying there for the winter, so they will not be around. And as a result, my daughter's also a nurse, so she works shift work. So we're doing our Christmas on Christmas Eve. We're doing a lunch with my family, my parents, and my other sibling and his family. And then on, I always reserve Boxing Day with my children, because when they started dating, I found it very difficult with blended families trying to accommodate all these different meals and planning. So I just figured it was easy and safe to do it on Boxing Day, because most people are off on Boxing Day. And so that's what we do, is I host everybody here for a brunch. And because it is different, my daughter invited us over bright and early Christmas morning to watch my granddaughter Beatrix open her Christmas presents. So that's what we're doing this year. Yay. So it should be fun.
Penny, thank you so much. Deirdre, what you do and Christmas plans. Over to you, ma'am.
Ooh, good morning. Sorry I'm a little late. I was up dealing with a coughing child a lot last night. 'Tis the season for all those school germs. All right, so Deirdre Jorson of Eastborough Designs. I am a boutique interior design firm that specializes in residential interior design. So think of me more as an interior architect, if you will. Last week, I did do a presentation on this networking channel about when is the right time to hire an interior designer. So lots more information there. So go check out that link. So in terms of Christmas plans, this year we are staying local. Last year we went to Vancouver and we got there. We're supposed to fly out Christmas Eve because of how the school holiday fell last year. And after we booked the tickets, we said, well, that is a really crazy thing to do, to be so close to Christmas. So we moved it a couple days early and took the kids out of school a couple days to be able to leave to get there in time. And I'm so glad we did, because we got there after their really big snowstorm and right before ours. So we actually got there like in the window. So no delays. Coming back, not weather related, we were stuck in Vancouver for 32 hours. So I think we're still kind of feeling the aftermath of that really long delay. So we are staying put this year, and just enjoying like our little bubble with the family that is local, and some friends. And so yes, long story short, I am looking forward to 2.5 weeks off. If any of you are like me, right now is crunch time to, get any of those projects closed out, clients served, whatnot, to be able to actually enjoy the holidays, so that, us as business owners, sometimes we feel guilty for taking the time off, or we feel as though we have to justify why we're taking the time off. And I think after going through COVID, a lot of people are very just responsive and understanding as to, that we all need this break. And I've actually had a couple clients say to me, you don't need to justify why you're taking a break. You deserve it just like everybody else. So that's kind of nice to see that not everybody thinks that we need to be, working oh gosh, like 12, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, not getting any break. So that is what I'm focusing on in order to recharge and to really show up and be the best version and most relaxed version and also most creative version of myself for 2024. So that is the plan. I've now got, well, the clock is still ticking. It's the 6th and the 20th is fast approaching. So got lots to complete before then. And part of that work is really setting expectations with clients and letting them know, this is the amount of time we've got left to complete, because, we've got some lollygaggers. So that we can set up their contractor or the construction in a way where it's well planned out. So letting clients know the amount of time things take, and that it's realistic and that it's not a rushed process. So that education about timeline is something that I always do, not just in December. So that is the talk for the next couple weeks anyways. So Deirdre. Yes.
Oh, no, sorry. I was going to say thank you. Sorry, my
No,
apologies.
that's okay. Deirdre Jorson of Eastborough Designs. I look forward to working with you soon.
Excellent. So I'm Bernie Fransbrough at Creative Insight. What I do is I connect businesses, B2B space, 2 podcasts in play. Knack for Business talks to business owners or people that are on the business journey and the golden nuggets to share. Property Wizard is a commercial real estate investment space, and I work with Fred Crouch in that particular area. And the focus is on understanding what's involved in that. Then the other element to share with you is World Referral Network. And that's about networking with 1,300 other people. Some of them are global, some of them are local. So if you have something you can do anywhere, that's a place to go visit. We meet every Tuesday on the East Trade Winds group. Plus, also, if you are not pushing out information globally, you can also pick up information that might be out in the globe for you and your resources. Without much more ado, I'm going to swing over to, Christmas. I almost forgot. Potentially going down to the GTA area. My niece has been proposed to for marriage, that is. So that's a good thing. And I hear offerings are going to southwest Ontario. Usually when I go down there, it's always freezing rain. So, but that's okay. That's you go for it for family. And now, with much more ado, I'm going to swing over to Mr. Dave Beliveau. Dave, over to you, sir.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? What are we, December 6th today?
Yes.
2 weeks, I'll be 64 years old. Holy crap. One more one more year, I'll get the good old pension there, the old age pension there. So I'll be up there. Anyway, Dave Beliveau, owner of Beliveau's Quality Frozen Foods. I started this 22 years ago. And the way I got to this journey was that I was born and raised in Nova Scotia. Stayed there till my early 20s, and then I got a job with Maple Leaf Foods, and they shipped me out west, Edmonton, Alberta. And I've lived in Alberta for like 16 years. And meanwhile, I had met my spouse, and then she had got a promotion to Ottawa. So I followed her career path, and then all of a sudden I decided to start Beliveau's Quality Frozen Foods because of the industry I was part of and that I had experience with, and I didn't want to get without the products I knew existed in the restaurant industry that I couldn't get access to just shopping at retail. So anyway, enough said of that. I've put some pictures together here, so I'm going to share my screen. Hold on a second. Share screen. Everybody see that?
Yes. It's up.
Okay. So I sold these to Sam. They're a bone-in strip loin. They're certified Angus beef. I just wanted you to remark the amount of marbling in the product. The strip loins are center cut, and all that marbling is going to create some very good tenderness to your steak, and also some juiciness and some flavor. Mrs. Consumer that shops for the leanest steak in the counter is going to get very disappointed after she finishes cooking it. It's going to be very dry and tough. So anyway, that's I have these on sale, and so anybody wants to take care, have a bone-in product for Christmas, it's about half the price of a bone-in ribeye at this point. So just for your information. So let me see if I can switch pictures here. Okay. Of course, I sell smoked salmon from Wolfhead Smokers, and this is a photo that they took and for their promotional thing. So the salmon is very moist when you get it. The melts in your mouth when you eat it because it's so fresh, and it involves a little bit of planning and booking and all that stuff, but I think it's worth it because the end result is that you don't have to buy the frozen stuff from the store. I'll go this picture here. Here's a pail of scallops. Scallops have come very expensive, like everything else in food. I'm sure you go to the grocery store and you go, what? I'm looking at ice cream that's $9 a pail now. That's scary. Anyway, the reason why it would entice you to buy scallops this way is that buying them by the pail, as you see on the side of the pail, it says a dry sea scallop. So they haven't been manipulated. They haven't been soaked in water to make them more heavy. And then you're assured of them being fresh because they've been like I coordinated where you get it the freshest I can get it in your hands. So anybody that loves scallops, I'm a good source to know how to get them really fresh and delicious for you. Here is some burgers I was cooking. And what I try to achieve when I try to cook is try to get those grill marks in. It's not always easy to achieve, but one way to do it is to make sure your meat is dry. So make sure you pass the paper towel on the surface of your meats to get rid of any liquid or any dampness. Because if you put that moisture on the barbecue, it's going to boil your meat, not char your meat. So that's a good tip for everybody to have. Burgers, this is Snake River Farms, very reputable operation in the US, and this is their Wagyu ground beef. And I sell this product. It's $100 a chub. There you get about 5 pounds. I make 14 5 3/4 ounce burgers. If you have a little scale and you just measure them out, you should get about 14 burgers, and they cost about $7 a burger. But I tell you, once you start eating this stuff versus the regular burgers, it's hard to go back. And especially when right now you go to the fast food joints and ask for a burger, you're looking at $11, $12 for one. So I rather eat this stuff at home than pay the fast food prices at the restaurant. This photo is my. I like doing this once in a while. Carol, she doesn't like steak. I rarely eat steak, so when she's away, I have to play. So this is the barbecue steak in the morning with mushrooms and sunny side eggs. Very, very good. Here's of me. I've cooked made a smoked turkey on the big green egg. It turns out so juicy, and so there's so much moisture, and it's very, very nice. Although it looks kind of dry there, but inside it's very, very good. Because you have to brine it for 3 days before you start doing this. And I have a customer that's ordered 2 of them for Christmas, so that's what I'm going to be doing for Christmas. I'm going to be cooking her turkey. This is Tony's favorite item, the barbecue ribs. I'm sure he's bought about 5 cases since I've been around in Phoenix. So I make sure I dap these dry. I try to get grill marks going on the ribs because they're pre-cooked. They're already pre-cooked, so they only take about 5-10 minutes to make. And then I start adding the barbecue sauce. So that's a good tip: is get your grill marks on your meat before putting sauce. You're not going to get grill marks with putting sauce. It's once again, it's going to boil your meat, not char your meat. Here's a box of certified Angus top sirloin center cut. And the reason I put this picture, when you always talking center cut for top sirloin, there is no fat on around the steak. You see that? They almost look like tenderloins, but what you'll amazingly see is that very nice marbling all across the meat, which is awesome. And that's a good trait of the certified Angus beef brand. And here's Bernie's favorite is the pork chops that he likes, and you can see some nice marbling there too. Here's a picture of a whole rib, and this is how I tell people to buy their product. Buy it in the whole piece, and you cut it yourself, and you save money doing it that way. If you let McGregor's or them cut it up and vacuum pack it for you, you're going to pay a premium for it. But this way, you can get the same meat, do it yourself, and then all is good. Thing about buying it this way, you have to spend a bit of money up front, but in the long run, I think it's very well worth it. That ends for the show. I just wanted to show this picture because this buddy here has been with me for, I don't know, 7-8 years now. And he stays with me 3 months of the year. He's not my dog, but I do walk him twice a week. But his name is Kira. I thought I'd show this photo because this is a perfect picture for a Christmas card. So that's it for me today. Any questions on pictures you've seen or anything like that?
Go ahead, Wendy.
Thank you, Dave, for making me really hungry right now. I like to have a steak on steak. Better see what I have got. So something I've noticed a lot of is that when I go into a grocery store, they're cutting off a lot of the fat. I'm a big fan of the fat in the meat.
Yeah.
I don't like lean. So if I were to put an order in through you, Dave, can I make that request? Don't chop all the fat off? Okay.
Yeah. Well, the best thing for you is to buy the whole piece yourself, and you can determine how much fat you want in the piece when you start trimming it, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the other question I have is I notice when I go to grocery stores that a lot of the fish and the seafood is farmed. And I think that the product that you put out is a superior product. Is
Well,
any of it farmed?
Scallops are not farmed.
Not farmed.
Not
Okay.
farmed.
But what about
There's-
the fish?
So there are different levels. There is only when you see Atlantic salmon, there's no wild Atlantic salmon, doesn't exist. The species started to get extinct, so they've saved them through farming. If that's so, anyway, they do farming in the Maritimes, okay, but the difference between a farm in the Maritimes is that we operate under Canadian regulations, which are very strict, and even David Suzuki came and visited the farm and said that they were doing a good job as far as environmental concerns, where before they were concerned about the salmon poop being intense because of the fish farms being. So what they've done is that downstream from the farm, they've started to grow kelp and mussels.
Mm-hmm.
So kelp and mussels eat salmon poop. It's a perfect filtration system. So now they have 3 products, right? So and the other thing that they do in Canada better than anybody else is that there's only about 3% of fish versus the amount of water that they have to live in. Like you don't see a net and there's fish flapping on top of the surface that they're so intensely packed there, right? So if you want to know who sells the most Atlantic salmon, is the country of Argentina, and they sell 80% of the world's Atlantic salmon. But their regulations and their practices are not even close to being to scale of what in Canada it is, and that's why they can sell on price. And that's who's going to dominate the grocery store business is the Atlantic salmon from Argentina, right? Not the Canadian one.
Mm-hmm.
The Canadian one is more, because of the quality aspect to the product, is more focused for restaurants. Because it's a higher quality and it's going to cost a little bit more because they do things differently. But the net effect is that think about where the farm is. The farms are in Atlantic Canada, in the Bay of Fundy, where it's the highest tides in the world.
Mm.
If you were to stand, I don't know if you ever saw the strength and of the high tides in Eastern Canada, but I tell you, once the tide is going, even the little ferry going across maybe 2 kilometers away to the other side has to point the ship almost 90 degrees that way to make it to the other side on the, like, that's how strong the current is for these high tides. So even if a fish is inside the enclosure, he's going to have to swim his friggin' just to stay. You know what I mean? It's not like static water or whatever. It's like the fish is still going to have to be very fit to be able to withstand those currents, even though they're in one enclosed area. So, and they do have there's only 3% of fish versus the amount of water they have to swim in. So all of these factors increase the price because you're not putting more, you know what I mean, production in the same amount of space. And when you do that, you're going to be prone to disease and all of that stuff. So hopefully that answers your question.
Dave, that's an awesome thing. Dave,
Huh?
how can people get a hold of you if they want to buy some scallops? They want to buy some bird before Christmas and before the week before Christmas. Pick up the I think it's the salmon.
You just gotta Google Dave Bello. That's it. It's I'll be somewhere on the internet.
Okay.
You have an e-card too. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah. So folks, if you're
Anyway,
online,
I forgot to tell you what I was going to do for Christmas.
go for it, sir.
All right. I am looking after some of these dog for Christmas. I'm doing 2 turkeys for a customer. What we usually do is we have our friends that are down the street that have been friends of ours for like 15, 20 years, and they're Jewish, so we usually go for dim sum. For that's our Christmas meal, is we go for dim sum with the Jewish people there. So that's but it's a lot of fun. I like dim sum. It's good.
Yeah. Dave, thank you so much. Dave, thank you so much. So if anybody wants to get a hold of Dave, and other than looking him up through the Google Meister, go to www.pbex.ca, and he is inside the Phoenix Business Exchange, and he's in the directory. So for the East End group, you can drill down, find him there, click, and he has contact details in that space. So it's going to go quickly and share some information that's coming up. First off, we do have a Christmas party that's showing up on this Friday, or this Saturday, I should say. It's going to be at the Windsor Park Rivera. So 3 to 5 p.m. If you're attending, please sign on, click on the link, and then you'll see a Calendly invite from Tony. You will have to send Tony $10 plus HST. Please note that if you're doing an e-transfer, do tell him why you're sending him the $10. I think he'll be able to guess, but yeah, always good to know. Penny Lee's got us moving around at 7 to 8 this evening. South End Group meets tomorrow, same time, same channel. Penny Lee's busy moving us around between 10, 11, and 3 and 4. Tune in with Tony on Friday, 1:30 to 2:30. Get that kind of mellow space. There is a 613 flea holiday night market that's happening at Lansdowne. And that's on the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd. So if you got some Christmas shopping, there you go. You will find Dwight from the Taste Sweet Life catering service there. Sorry. On Sundays, weekly online yoga with Jacqueline. So you can get chill there, and it's done online. If you are looking to have a bite with Dave, because you saw all that delicious food, and it is delicious, book now to meet with him at midday on Monday. All right, and a new moon's happening next week. Penny's got a moving to heal class at 10 to 10:30 on Tuesday the 12th. This is going to be the last week for this year for Phoenix, so the week of the 11th. So get your stats in. And then on the 18th, we are off, and we come back on January 8th. So that's kind of a heads up and just doing the reminding thing. If you have calendar events that are not in the calendar, send me a note. They're really important. If you're sending me that note, whether it's an event that you're hosting, a special event like Dwight's event, I need an image. I need contact details. And not scant details like who to contact, a registration link. Just details, because I can make stuff up going, well, contact Dave, but it has nothing to do with, with the event at hand. But Dave will sell you some steak. That that said, 484 referrals happened year to date. And again, make sure that you update Tony on the amount of money that you've spent with other people. We've got $249,000 worth of transactions between members year to date. We also have 462 BAMs. BAMs are a business activity meeting. So you're getting to meet someone else in the group, understand what's happening, and you might find a referral in that space. Or let's say, for example, you understand what Wendy's doing. I mean, obviously he's doing real estate, but you might have a client that's in need of, or someone says, I got to do something with my house. Hey, who do you call? Deirdre, of course, right? Make it pretty, but not before December 25th. The only way that's going to happen, you have to show up with a bucket of gold, and maybe that'll happen, right? So I'm gonna stop there. We're gonna spin the dial, and we're gonna do the what's been happening in your week. And you know what, Dave, you're up. What's been happening in your week?
Well, nothing, not too much. Preparing for the presentation here. I'm not an Apple person, like, so Carol's last night we were trying to get this thing together on PowerPoint, and then she says, open the file of the PowerPoint, then open Zoom. So, and then you'll be good. So I get there this morning. I opened the file PowerPoint, then I can't open Zoom because the other file is open. And do you think I can friggin' minimize or take away this file off the screen? I'm staring at it. I'm going through all the little things. So, what the hell? So Sam sends me a text. Where are you? I said I can't get off the screen to get into Zoom like that. I was like totally freaking like, oh no, I can't even get out of here. So I finally look at the keyboard and I go, escape. Okay, well, press escape. And then it minimized the screen and I was able to get Zoom. But I tell you, I had a panic attack there for like 5 minutes. I was going like, holy shit, man, I better get studied on how to use an Apple product, because the simplest thing of just minimizing a file, I couldn't. Where do you do that on the Apple screen? Anybody? Nobody
Don't have
know?
an Apple.
I don't have an Apple.
You had a mini BAM with Sam though, just in the last few minutes, so that would count. A support BAM.
I was like, whoa.
Hey,
Anyway.
Dave, thank you so much. Tanya, over to you.
Well, I was over at Sam's place because he spent a lot of time on being able to put in an emergency brake, because what I was warned of when I took driving lessons happened. I allowed the emergency brake to seize, and so Sam replaced it, but it was not an easy thing. And I'm very appreciative that he took the time, which he did not charge me for, in order to be able to put a new emergency brake cable in the car, which I am now using. So in contact with Ishmael and making sure that finishing touches to my website are upcoming, and that I'll be out and rolling in the next year. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Wendy, Tanya, thank you. Wendy, over to you. You're on mute.
Thanks, Dave, so much for the presentation and the education. It's always extremely helpful. I haven't had any BAMs recently. However, I will have to change that in the new year. Lots going on. And I look forward to the rest of the week, which is filled with many, many Christmas parties. So I'll be running around quite a bit, but I basically said yes to everyone. So I have to make time for everyone. And I'm actually excited to reconnect with a lot of people before the end of the year. So if I don't see you on Saturday at the Christmas party, then Merry Christmas to everyone, and looking forward to starting the new year right with all of you again. Thank you.
Wendy, thank you so much. Sam, over to you, sir.
Thanks, Bernie. First of all, Dave, that was a terrible presentation. Didn't like any of the food, and but next time your wife's out of town and you want to do steak and eggs, I'll be there.
I'll be there. All right.
Anyway, well, let's see. Tanya mentioned that finished off job there, the emergency brake. Put two in, and unfortunately the main one broke, so I had to go and get another one. Had to get it shipped in from the U.S. actually to get it anyway. And it took a little while to do, but I was glad to get it finished. Another project that I was had got delayed was Steve Brennickmeyer. He had misplaced his lug nuts for his winter rims, so I got him a set of new lug nuts, actually decent quality ones actually too. At a good price, and got to put on his winter tires just in time, I guess, for this last couple of days. So I'm sure he's appreciating having the winter tires on his car now. Let's see here. Oh, yes. And last but not least, this weekend, I plan to be at the Christmas do, and hope to see you all there if you can make it.
Sam, thank you so much. Susan McGarry.
Thank you, Bernie. Great presentation, Dave. I'm looking forward to getting my meat order on Monday. I missed you this Monday. He dropped it off at the restaurant, which is super because Cassie put it away for me in the freezer. And she goes, that salmon looked really good. I said, you take one of those home. So she's going to sample it because she was telling me that the meat in Costco just isn't the same. You know, it's not the same quality. So hopefully we'll get you some referrals there, Dave. So thank you so much for that delivery. What's really, really super cool about Phoenix is sometimes members are so successful that they move on and get so super busy. And it was really neat to see Robin. I don't know if you guys remember her placing an order of the bars, the peanut butter chocolate bars that I sell, the meal replacement. So ongoing business. And then I'm meeting with Malcolm on Monday. So there you go. Just, you know, previous Phoenix members that aren't maybe participating, but are participating with me. So it's pretty exciting. So I won't be there Saturday because I have an event, a show that I'm doing on Saturday. I'm really booking every weekend. So with Pure Trim, but have fun and everybody have a very Merry Christmas.
Susan McGarry, thank you so much. And Deirdre, over to you.
Dave, I haven't had breakfast yet, and I'm already planning dinner. That was really great. Thank you so much for that information. So yes, preparing for the Christmas break, something that that I've been thinking about a lot the last couple of days has been a life lesson that I learned recently on my trek to Everest Base Camp that I took in May in Nepal. And I find a lot of these life lessons, you know, we've heard over the years or we've heard these anecdotes, but when you learn something in like an immersive environment, sometimes these life lessons really stick. And so one of them is don't do tomorrow what you can do today. And so that lesson I've really tried to apply not only to life, but also business. And what that means is when I have a plan on my schedule, or if I even have time, you know, some spare time, I mean, I don't even know what spare time feels like these days, but if you do have a pocket of time, that if you have the energy and you've got the focus that you can still kind of carry on and do one more contact for a client, you know, one more phone call, one more quote, one more proposal, one more drawing, whatever it may be, you know, do it that day as opposed to waiting to the next day, because you don't know if it will be possible. You don't know if your day is going to be derailed. You don't know what's going to happen with, you know, in my case, like kids staying home because of being sick. This time of year, we get colds, we have to cancel our whole week, right? So take advantage of that time. And the way that life lesson came about was the day that we were going to base camp was nice and blue and clear skies. And we had an awesome view of Everest heading to base camp. And we were exhausted, you know, before we got there. And so that was a 10-hour hike to get to base camp. And had we waited the next day, because that was an option, we woke up in complete cloud cover. and it would have been a completely different experience. It was a 3-year in the making trip. And so had we had that type of experience, it would have been completely different. We wouldn't have known any differently, but it wouldn't have been as beautiful and breathtaking. And so, you know, I'm really glad, fortunate that we made the decision. We could carry on and do what we need to do that day instead of waiting. And so that life lesson, I've been able to kind of put that into, you know, everyday life and business. So that is my focus, is whatever I can do on the day, whether it's business or family or whatever, to do it and not to wait. So that's all for now. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you soon.
Deirdre, thank you. And Susan Ebbs, over to you, ma'am.
Dave, I am so hungry. Oh, I love the idea of the steak and eggs. I've never tried that yet.
Steak and eggs.
I would think so. Thank you so much for a very informative talk. And I didn't know that about the salmon not being out in the wild anymore. So that's really sad to hear that, but at least we still got salmon. Let's see, what do I have? Ongoing business with Wendy Chung. And she's going to have to suspend her order for the couple of months that she flies down to, I think it's Costa Rica, she said she was going to.
Yep.
Yeah, and then she just starts back up when she comes back. Ongoing business with Penny Lee with her dancing. And what else? Oh, Tony, how could I forget Tony? Tony's been giving me a lot of help with his meditations, and very much appreciative of that. I won those at the draws, so it's just amazing how I ended up getting those calls.
We still have
So-
one more.
I know. And what else is there? Oh, Terry Black. Terry and I had a BAM last week. I don't know if I mentioned it. But we just reconnected and talked about what we're doing, and I gave her the particulars for that health link that I've got up on the calendar. It's a very interesting event with people with health products, and so just another opportunity to get your name out there. And I think that is all that I've got for this week. Oh yeah, and Christmas party. Looking forward to it. See you Friday or Saturday.
Susan, thank you so much. Tony, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Yeah, great presentation, Dave. I never can get tired of looking at food. Thanks for that. So thanks a lot for the order. So that was another thing. I did some business with Dave last week. I still got some salmon coming, and ongoing business with Josh. He was in charge of getting the computer for the second prize that we have, and it's a nice computer. It's a shame that my name isn't in the ballot because you're running the thing. And Jacqueline, I had a BAM with her, had a BAM with Wendy, and did some business with Terry Black as well. And looking forward to your website there, Tanya, for when that finally gets going, as it must be great. I know your level of quality, and I know Ishmael, he's good at what he does. And that's about it for me. So other than that, we'll see you on Saturday. Hopefully we'll be at the Christmas party. If not, have a very Merry Christmas, guys.
Tony, thank you so much. Dave, you know, everybody else is looking at, my mouth was watering. I was starting to drown here, but you know, so you just like, well, I like that. I like that. I like that. So, and yes, you know, the tomahawk pork chops, they're awesome. The steaks are awesome. The salmon is really tasty. It's like, oh yeah. So I'm gonna stop there. Otherwise, I'll drown again. The had a meeting with Tony and Carl this week, so another BAM came up, and new business opportunities within the Phoenix group. And I'm going to end off with a quote. The quote for the day is from Phil Jackson. The strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team. And that is the quote for the day.
Like that.